أتقتلون رجلا أن يقول ربي الله وقد جاءكم بالبينات من ربكم وإن يك كاذبا فعليه كذبه وإن يك صادقا يصبكم بعض الذي يعدكم إن الله لا يهدي من هو مسرف كذاب. My dear respected elders and brothers, mothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we are continuing on with Surah Mumin, which is the 40th surah of the Quran. We are in the 24th juz, and today we're doing the 28th ayat, 28th verse. It's right at the ruku. Last week we did about the story of Musa and Fir'aun, as is mentioned in 27 of the 30 chapters of the Quran. There's some mention of the story of Musa alayhi salam and Fir'aun, the story of Bani Israel. In different aspects of the story are mentioned. Here, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala will highlight why this surah is mentioned, Surah Mumin. Because Allah Ta'ala speaks about a believer from amongst the people of Fir'aun. We already know that the wife of Fir'aun also believed in Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala and is ranked amongst one of the highest of ladies. Musa alayhi salam himself, Allah Ta'ala miraculously made that person who would take down the kingdom of Fir'aun and take down Fir'aun himself. Allah Ta'ala made him grow up in the house of Fir'aun, despite Fir'aun's plans of killing all the children and trying to save himself from that ruinous end. But still, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, in the belly of the beast, made Musa alayhi salam grow up and be nurtured and to be taught in the palace of Fir'aun, and became one of the beloveds of Fir'aun, and later on, of course, left and turned against Fir'aun and came back and gave da'wah to him of Tawheed. So Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, very miraculously in different beautiful ways, Allah Ta'ala showed that He is Hadi, He's the one that gives guidance. And in the most difficult of environments, and in the most challenging of environments, we find Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala guides hearts and opens up people's ways, opens up the ways for people to see what the haqq is, even though those environments are hazed and they're so foggy with dalala and misguidance and wrongdoing. This is another example. After Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala speaks about the evil of Fir'aun, Allah Ta'ala spoke about how Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, how Fir'aun started accusing Musa alayhi salam of the sihr, accusing him of being a liar. When he brought the truth to them, they didn't believe. And Fir'aun, instead of humbling himself to the truth and seeing the miracle of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through the serpent, of the staff of Musa alayhi salam, or through Yadul Bayda, the shining hand, instead of humbling himself and knowing, because these people who rejected these prophets, in their hearts they knew that they were truthful. They knew it, but they rejected. Allah Ta'ala mentions in the Quran, that another ayat of Quran, that jahadu, that they rejected, wastayqanat anfusuhum, but their hearts knew that these people were right, that they were on haqq. But still, because of course, Fir'aun, the driving force behind his rejection, obviously, was all the wealth that he had, the position that he had, what he had to give up. And only if he would have believed in Allah Ta'ala, Allah Ta'ala would have gave him more wealth, and Allah Ta'ala would give him more honor. But these type of things held him away and took him away from the path of haqq and truth. So Allah Ta'ala in this almost 2 rukus has dedicated the story of this person who was from the people of Fir'aun. Now Allah Ta'ala mentions, وَقَالَ رَجُلٌ مُؤْمِنٌ مِنْ آلِ فِرْعَوْنَ, that the man who believed from the people of Fir'aun, Now some ulama say, and we know, that Ali Fir'aun does not necessarily have to mean the family of Fir'aun. Because Ali Fir'aun also were his shurta, all of his troops, all the people who followed him. From all the verses of the Quran, we can see from about the verses that Ali Fir'aun will follow him into Jahannam, that it wasn't just his family, his blood relations, but these were people who followed him, backed him up, his courtiers, his army, people who backed him up even though they knew he was wrong also, and backed him up in his wrongs and killed the children. These all come under Ali Fir'aun. So if we look at in the context of how Allah Ta'ala uses this word Ali Fir'aun, it doesn't necessarily have to be one of the family members of Fir'aun. So as many of the Mufassirin, they like to do in these instances, that abhimu ma abhamallah. Keep ambiguous what Allah Ta'ala has kept ambiguous. If Allah Ta'ala has not specifically named anybody, and has not specifically told us who that person is, Rajulun Mu'minun, Allah Ta'ala had the opportunity to tell us what his name was. So therefore it's better to leave it ambiguous. If Allah Ta'ala wants to leave it ambiguous, let him leave it ambiguous. And it doesn't necessarily have to mean that he's the family member of Fir'aun, but he could be someone who was amongst the followers of Fir'aun, and he believed in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, believed in the message of Musa alayhi salam, and he had enough courage to speak out against the wrongs that they were doing. Other ulama who like to specify and look into history and look into the life of Fir'aun and the life at the time of Musa alayhi salam, and there was any personality at this time, at the time of Fir'aun, a person from his people or from his family who turned away from Fir'aun and believed in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, believed in Musa alayhi salam. So historians say that there was a person who was the first cousin of Fir'aun. The first cousin of Fir'aun. He was the son of the aunt of Fir'aun. Fir'aun's mother's sister's son. And his name was Mikaeel. And some of the historians say that he was the person who was a family member of Fir'aun, and he grew up with Fir'aun, first cousins, and we know how cousins are, cousins become very close and things like this. And he's the one that's speaking this. And as we go on into the different verses, and we see that Fir'aun really does not threaten this man, he doesn't try to kill him, and we know that, and we've done before, that Fir'aun was called Dhul Awtad. He was the person of the pegs, meaning if anybody talked against him, he right away sent him to some other place to get him crucified, and would put pegs in his hands and beat him. There's no type of warnings here about this, even though this man would be looked at as boldly, is speaking against what Fir'aun wants and speaking in the haqq and in the right of Musa alayhi salam and the Bani Israel and the deen of Allah Ta'ala. So because Fir'aun is not really retaliating and saying anything threatening to him, it seems to be that this man had there was a soft spot in the heart of Fir'aun for this man, because he was a family member, he was his cousin, and he was able to say these things. He had the courage to say this because he knew Fir'aun and they grew up together. And Fir'aun also had the shyness to punish him and the love to punish him and do anything against him, being the fact that he was a family member and his first cousin. So there are ulama who say that his name is Mikaeel and he's a family member of Fir'aun. Whatever it may be, he was a very courageous person. Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala has named a surah after him. And Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala speaks about his story here. And the better part of 2 rukus are spent, about a couple of pages are spent on his story. And Allah Ta'ala says, وَقَالَ رَجُلٌ مُؤْمِنٌ. And a man, mu'minun, who believed, min ali Fir'aun, from the family of Fir'aun, yaktumu imanahu, hiding his faith. He couldn't come out and say, I believe in Musa alayhi salam. He couldn't come out and do this. But from his statements and from his words, and by the ending, you can see he got the courage to expose his iman and tell the people about his faith. And what did he say? First of all, he tapped into the logical evil that Fir'aun and his people were doing. The prejudice that they had against Musa alayhi salam, the prejudice that they had against the followers of Musa alayhi salam, that these people are not posing any threat. Musa alayhi salam, remember, his request was not even that I want to take over Misr and I want to take over your spot, O Fir'aun. This was not even something that Musa alayhi salam presented to him. All Musa alayhi salam said was, Arsil ma'iya Bani Israel. Release the Bani Israel. They are prisoners, you are keeping them as slaves. This is zulm, this is oppression. Release them to me. I want to take them back to their homeland. They need to go back to Canaan. And it's not working out here. So all he wanted to do was to get them out. But Fir'aun still did not listen, and he started killing their children and doing more zulm and going against Musa alayhi salam. So the first thing that Hithkeel, or the Rajul bin Ali Fir'aun, the first thing he does is he taps into a very illogical approach that these people are doing, that you people are wrong. You are being prejudiced and you want to kill a person just because he says Allah is my Lord. Have you not heard of anybody who believes in Allah? Is it a crime to believe in Allah? Obviously, in Misr at that time it was. You had to believe in Fir'aun. But when you look at it, we're going to kill somebody because they have a different belief? What kind of prejudice and what kind of evil is this? So that's the first thing he tells his people about, to try to get them to understand that what you're doing is completely wrong. And he tells them, أَتَقْتُلُونَ رَجُلًا أَن يَقُولَ رَبِّيَ اللَّهِ. Are you going to kill a man because he says that my Lord is Allah? And not only that, he's not a crazy man that he's come and he just tell you I believe in Allah and he's got no logical proofs and he has no good fasih kalam. He's Musa alayhi salam, he's speaking as a prophet. And this man has brought miracles, he's brought proof. That's what the people want. When you go to the next cubicle and tell John about Islam, or you go to someone and you talk to him about Islam, he says what? What's the proof? How can you prove it to me? And the better you can prove it to him, the more it opens up his heart and makes him understand that this religion is the truth. Musa alayhi salam, and of course a plethora and all the variety of different prophets, Allah Ta'ala blessed them with mu'jizat, with the miracles. Kharqi aada. They did things that were against the norm. Splitting seas, bringing camels out of mountains, shining hands, staffs turning into snakes, that even the best of magicians knew that that's not no magic. That is truly a miracle of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as we've done before in the story of the Sahirin, when they made the sajda and became believers just by seeing the serpent of Musa alayhi salam. So he says here, وَقَدْ جَاءَكُمْ بِالْبَيِّنَاتِ, and he has brought clear proofs to you, miracles. You saw that staff turn into a snake. You saw his hand shine like the sun. This man's got something special. First of all, he's calling towards a very pure thing. Second of all, he's brought proofs to you. And now you want to kill him? He's not even threatening you. مِن رَبِّكُمْ, and those have come from your Lord. Now, of course, what if he's a liar? What if he's a denier? So he's lying against Allah Ta'ala. You know in your heart of hearts, O people, that if a man is fabricating a lie against Allah, Allah will take care of him. Allah will destroy him himself. How dare he fabricate a lie against Allah Ta'ala? So he says, وَإِيَّكُ كَاذِبًا فَعَلَيْهِ كَذِبُ. If he's lying, then the detrimental effect of that lie will be on his own self. That lie is going to hurt him if he's lying. وَإِيَّكُ صَادِقًا. And the other scenario, if he's true and he's told you people and warned you that I've come with this clear proof, I've shown you, you people know I'm truthful. If you reject, then Allah Ta'ala will send punishments. Punishments are going to come. Musa alayhi salam and Bani Israel, and we did it in the dars that we had at the home. If you want to watch it, I talked to the and those tafseers, I gave some of the understandings of adab. And Musa alayhi salam and the Bani Israel, they were the last of the nations that had this type of aspect where you did wrong and the punishment right away can come. There's no more like that anymore. Punishment can come, a person could do completely wrong, a person could be bold, can say one of the worst things, and it's not necessary that the earth will open up and swallow him. It doesn't work like that anymore. It stopped. Once Musa alayhi salam left and done, then this was no longer that Allah Ta'ala sends the punishment right away on the wrongs of people. If He wants, He can send. If He doesn't have to send. And it doesn't come to lightning and stuff like that. Now it comes to earthquakes and plagues, even Nabi Sallallahu said. Plagues are the things that will destroy the ummats now. So anyway, so he says here that if he's speaking the truth, يُصِبُكُمْ بَعْضُ الَّذِي يَعِدُكُمْ, it will afflict you some of that which He has promised you. He's told you that bad things are going to happen. Some of that stuff is going to afflict you if He's a truthful person. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَهْدِي مَنْ هُوَ مُسْرِفٌ كَذَّابٌ. And now He gives indication now, and this is the where His himmat and His courage is coming. And we know before, we said that the last ayat we did before we left, Allah Ta'ala mentioned that Musa alayhi salam said, إِنِّي عُدْتُ بِرَبِّي وَرَبِّكُمْ مِنْ كُلِّ مُتَكَبِّرٍ لَا يُؤْمِنُ بِيَوْمِ الْحِسَابِ. I want to stay away. Allah Ta'ala protect me from every single prideful person who doesn't believe in the day of Hisab. Now He starts characterizing indirectly Fir'aun with some bad qualities as well, the same way Musa alayhi salam did. That Allah Ta'ala, who's stopping these people from believing? Fir'aun. So Allah, He says at the ending, Inna Allah la yahdi. I know who's stopping you from believing in Him. And now He didn't say Fir'aun now, but He says Allah Ta'ala does not guide that person who's musrif, that person who goes past the boundaries, that person who overdoes things. Musrif. This Fir'aun, he's exceeding the limits. And he's saying the worst of all things. Ana rabbukum al-a'la. I'm the Lord. And He kills you and He punishes you. And look at how he spends extravagantly. He's a musrif, israf. He exceeds the limits. He overdoes it. Allah Ta'ala doesn't guide these type of people. Kadhab, people who are liars, rejectors, liars of the truth, rejectors of the truth. We've already seen from the last ruku that we did that Fir'aun is rejecting the truth. Sabil al-Rashad. This is the only thing that I can tell you which is right. We have to kill him. We don't have to kill him. What is he bringing forth? What's the religion? He's rejecting Fir'aun. So here at the ending, we can already see the courage of this man, and he's already starting to talk directly against Fir'aun. After this he says, and taps into some more doubts and some more illogical things that are in them to try to break them up and bring them onto faith. Allah Ta'ala says, وَقَالَ الَّذِي آمَنَ يَا قَوْمِ إِنِّي أَخَافُ عَلَيْكُمْ مِثْلَ I've skipped, right? يَا قَوْمِ بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا قوم لكم الملك اليوم ظاهرين في الأرض فمن ينصرنا من بأس الله إن جاءنا قال فرعون ما أريكم إلا ما أرى وما أهديكم إلا سبيل الرشاد. He then tells his people, O my people, يا قوم, O my people, لَكُمُ الْمُلْكُ الْيَوْمِ. Another thing that's stopping them. One is Fir'aun, and the other thing that's stopping them is the money, the wealth, the kingdom, the palaces, the mansions, the fast cars at that time, chariots and the horses or whatever they had, the gold and the women and all these different things, the wine. They were enjoying themselves. They were all living like kings. Fir'aun, of course, was separate and he was living, but they were also living very good. And this, of course, we know, the money and the wealth and the attraction to the dunya and a person being stuck to it. These are some of the things that can be a rukawat, it can be a barrier between a person accepting the truth and accepting the haqq. He doesn't want to give that up. He feels threatened that if I accept Islam, if I come towards the religion, zakat will take away my money, salat will take away my time, fasting will take away my enjoying of my food, the hajj will take away my vacation. All these things are very threatening to me. I can't drink anymore. I can't do this. I can't do that. I got to get married. I can't fornicate. All these things go to a person. And what it is, it's the temporary dunya which is stopping a person from the beautiful everlasting akhirah. Things that are going to finish right before us. They are finishing before us. We are getting old. We cannot do the things we did before. Those things that we cherish, they get old in front of us. We want to throw it out. We loved it. Now we want to throw it out. We don't even care about it. How many have passed away in the last few months? Allah Ta'ala grant them all Jannah Firdaus, those who passed away from this sickness or have passed away recently. Just yesterday we were in the janazah and we buried a 23-year-old boy, 24 years old. He had not feeling good, pulled to the car to the side, passed away, gone. Inna lillahi wa inna 24 years old. We put him in the cupboard yesterday. So we don't know when we are going to go. Let it not be that this dunya and the beauty of this dunya stops us from the overall success of the hereafter, which is eternal. He says to them, لَكُمُ الْمُلْكُ الْيَوْمِ Today you have the kingdom. ظَاهِرِينَ فِي الْأَرْضِ And you are the ones who are taking over the whole world. ظَاهِرِينَ. ظَاهِرِين means غَالِبِين. You are the leaders of the world right now. Today is the kingdom is yours, and you're the leaders of the world. ظَاهِرِينَ فِي الْأَرْضِ You are victorious in the earth. No one can take over you. فَمَنْ يَنْصُرُنَا مِنْ بَأْسِ اللَّهِ إِنْ جَاءَنَا But it can all end. It can all end. Just look at history, and they can even tell. There was kingdoms before you. Are they still around? No, they're gone. They all died. It doesn't last forever. And we know that we're speaking today, and where's the kingdom of Fir'aun? We're speaking today, and where's the kingdom of Rome? Right? We're speaking today, and just 100, 200 years ago, we can see people who were fluent and nations who were strong, and now they're not strong anymore. Gone, finished, nobody cares about them. You got to read them in a book. So that's what he's saying to them, that this doesn't last long. لَكُمُ الْمُلْكُ الْيَوْمِ Today you have the kingdom, you're powerful today in the earth. فَمَا يَنْصُرُنَا مِنْ بَأْسِ اللَّهِ But if Allah Ta'ala sends His punishment, ba's means punishment. Who will help us from the punishment of Allah? In ja'ana, if it comes to us. And this is what Musa alayhi salam is warning us with. If we reject, then that punishment of Allah Ta'ala is going to come on us. Therefore you won't have any kingdom anymore. After this, Fir'aun, after seeing his very convincing arguments, and it could be that some of the people started shaking their head and listening, that this man is speaking pure logic, and it's right. What are we doing? So Fir'aun intervened right away. And Fir'aun said, قَالَ فِرْعَوْنَ مَا أُرِيكُمْ إِلَّا مَا أَرَاهُ I cannot show you, I cannot give you any opinion, إِلَّا مَا أَرَاهُ except for the opinion that I've given. وَمَا أَهْدِيكُمْ إِلَّا سَبِيلَ الرَّشَادِ And I'm not guiding you to anything except the right decision. He suffered from the same thing that 99% of the leaders suffer. My way or the highway. Even though you have very logically put your point forward, even though you are my cousin and you are my family member, or you are a member of my people and you have a great concern for us, but I'm sorry, we have to do what I say. I don't care what anybody's saying. We have to kill Musa. We have to kill the people of Bani Israel. And that's what I said. We have to kill him. That's it, finished. And this is the downfall to so many of the leaders, that they don't listen to the good advice of the people around them, and they follow their own nafs and their own desire and their own power, my way or the highway. So basically this is what Fir'aun said. مَا أُرِيكُمْ إِلَّا مَا أَرَى I cannot give you any opinion except for the opinion I gave you. وَمَا هَدِيكُمْ And I cannot guide you إِلَّا سَبِيلُ الرَّشَادِ except towards the right way, and this is the right way. We have to kill Musa. Now after this, again, he speaks to the people. The courage of this man, that after Fir'aun says that this is the right way, he speaks and says, وَقَالَ الَّذِي آمَنَ يَا قَوْمِ إِنِّي أَخَافُ عَلَيْكُمْ مِثْلَ يَوْمِ الْأَحْزَابِ Allah Ta'ala says that person who believes said after this, Ya Qawmi, after Fir'aun put forward that my way or the highway, he didn't stop. He said, oh my people, don't worry about him. Oh my people, you have seen before you people get destroyed. What I'm talking to you and telling you is not something that's coming out of the blue. It's not something that has not been experienced before. There were people before you who had great kingdoms. Prophets came to them, they rejected them, and then after that they were destroyed. And that's what he's going to tell them now. He's going to give them the first-hand experience. He's going to give the proof in the pudding. That there's people before you and you know about them. Check your history. And he says, he who believes, Ya qawmi, O my people, inni akhafu alaykum mithla yawm al-ahzab. I am afraid about you. I am afraid for you the likes of the days of the punishment of the great groups from before. Ahzab is the plural of hizb, which means jama'ah. And ahzab is basically all of those people And actually, the people of Fir'aun after this became part of that group. They are the major, great, influential, disbelieving groups that rejected their prophets in the Quran. Thamud, Ad, all these different people before. Fir'aun, the people of Nuh alayhi salam. Large amounts of great, strong people. Allah Ta'ala gave them great success in this world. So many ni'mats. And Allah Ta'ala sent the Prophet to them, and they rejected the Prophet, and many times they killed that Prophet. So now He's bringing a proof from them. He's bringing something that they have witnessed with their own eyes. They may not have witnessed the punishment, but they have seen the ruins and seen the history of these people and know that these people were destroyed in such and such a land, and we heard about them, and we know that a prophet came to them, they rejected, and they were destroyed. Right now, you're in the same position, O my people. So he said, Ya qawmi inni akhafu alaykum. O my people, I am fearing about you, mithla yawm al-ahzab, that the likes of the punishment of the people of Ahzab is going to come on you. The likes of the punishment of those great, large, disbelieving groups, it's going to come on you. You're going to be punished as well. And if they didn't know who the Ahzab was and who these groups were, so he explains. مثل داب قوم نوح وعاد وثمود والذين من بعدهم وما الله يريد ظلما للعباد. Who are those Ahzab? Who are those people? مثل داب قوم نوح. The likes of the ways of the people of Nuh alayhi salam. What happened to them? Nuh alayhi salam came to them. 1,000 years giving them da'wah. 950 years he gave them da'wah. And they all were destroyed. They rejected. Their own prophet made dua against them. And Allah Ta'ala destroyed them. So the likes, dab means tariqah, the way. So the likes of the way of the people of Nuh. And what is that way? A prophet comes to them with clear proofs and they reject, they get destroyed. Wa'ad, and the people of Ad. Wa Thamud, and the people of Thamud. And we've read about them before. وَالَّذِينَ مِن بَعْدِهِمْ, and those people who came after them. Whoever it was, when they rejected their prophet, they were destroyed. That was their way. I'm fearing that's going to happen to you. It looks like the same thing is going to happen, and the same type of ways are coming in front of you. Ayah today says, وَمَا اللَّهُ يُرِيدُ ظُلْمَ لِلْعِبَادِ. Allah Ta'ala does not want to oppress His servants. He's trying to bring goodness to you. وَلَكِنْ أَنفُسَكُمْ يَظْلِمُونَ. But you people are going to be the ones that are going to oppress your own selves. He's giving you opportunity here. Then he says after this, وَيَا قَوْمِ إِنِّي أَخَافُ عَلَيْكُمْ يَوْمَ التَّنَادِ. Oh my people, it doesn't stop here in the world. It doesn't stop with you getting punished by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's just the beginning of it. وَنُذِيقَنَّهُمْ مِنَ الْعَذَابِ الْأَدْنَى دُونَ الْعَذَابِ الْأَكْبَرِ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَرْجِعُونَ. These punishments that come in the dunya, they are coming before a greater punishment in the hereafter. And we're hoping that through that punishment, if you live through it, you'll turn back to Allah Ta'ala and you won't experience that great punishment of the hereafter. So don't think that now you are going to reject Musa and you are going to now maybe get punished here, and you'll get punished and you'll die, and then when you wake up in the hereafter, it'll be all glory and happiness, and they all go to heaven, right? Everybody goes to heaven. I can see him smoking cigars in heaven, and he's dancing in heaven right now. He's probably hanging out with the chicks in heaven, right? A man dies here, he's got a bad problem, he's promiscuous with ladies and stuff like this. When he dies, then the family member says, he's probably playing around in heaven with the chicks. Ajib, everybody goes to heaven. That's it, everybody, that's it. Just, what is life about? So easy it is. You have to earn it. Nabi Sallallahu has said, it's ghal, that the hereafter, it is very, very valuable. Very valuable. You can't just get it anyway. You have to get it by staying away from the haram. Rasulullah has said it. Anyway, so Ya qawmi inni akhafu alaykum yawm at-tanad. We've done in this surah 3 names of Qiyamah. The first one was Yawm al-Azifah. We did it before in this surah. Yawm al-Azifah, Azifah means the arriving day, the day that's coming. Kullu atin huwa qareeb. Everything that's coming is basically going to happen. After that, Allah Ta'ala called it Yawm al-Talaq, the day of meeting, talaq, mulaqat. The day when the makhluk, the insan, for the first day, they will meet with the Ahl al-Ard, will meet with Ahl al-Sama. It is the first time we'll ever meet with the angels. It is the first time we'll ever meet with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We'll meet with people of the past who we knew about, but never saw. So it's that day, when the day of encounter, when everybody will encounter each other and meet with each other. People from all different times, all different species, all different creations, whether they were creations that could be seen, unseen, and then of course, meeting with Allah Ta'ala. Yawm al-Talaq. And now, Yawm al-Tanad. Tanad means, comes from the word tanadi. The ya has been dropped off. Nida, the day of calling, the day of supplicating, the day of pleading. A lot of pleading on that day. A lot of calling out that day. When is Allah Ta'ala will call out? وَامْتَازُ الْيَوْمَ أَيُّهَا الْمُجْرِمُونَ. Today, everybody who did wrong, separate yourself. Announcements from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sometimes the angels will call out. Allah Ta'ala will appoint an angel. In the hadith it comes so many times. Yunadi munadin. That one caller will call out on the day of Qiyamah. أَيْنَ الَّذِينَ تَتَجَافَى جُنُوبُهُمْ عَنِ الْمَضَاجِعِ. One example. That when Allah Ta'ala is about to start the hisab and everybody's in fear and Allah Ta'ala's anger is now hovering over that majma and that group of people, all of the makhluk know that Allah Ta'ala is angry. A caller will call out. And first he will say, where are those people who used to worship Allah Ta'ala? فِي السَّرَّاءِ وَالضَّرَّاءِ. In happiness and in difficulty. فَيَقُومُونَ. Nabi Sam said, the people will stand. وَهُمْ قَلِيلٌ. But there will be very few. And a flag will be erected and it will be told to them, follow that flag, you're going into Jannah بِغَيْرِ حِسَابٍ. And they will follow the flag and go in. Can you imagine those people, everybody else looking at them? You won't be able to say that I did it if you didn't do it. It's the day of Qiyam. No tricks on that day. Then Allah Ta'ala will call out, will make an angel call out. أَيْنَ الَّذِينَ تَتَجَافَى جُنُوبُهُمْ عَنِ الْمَضَاجِعِ. Where are those people who used to stay away from their beds at night and worship Allah Ta'ala? Nabi Sam said, فَيَقُومُونَ. They'll stand up. وَهُمْ قَلِيلٌ. But they're very few. Then Allah Ta'ala will erect another flag and say, follow that flag. You're going in Jannah بِغَيْرِ حِسَابٍ. And those people will go into the Jannah بِغَيْرِ حِسَابٍ. Then Allah Ta'ala will start the hisab. Then Allah Ta'ala will start the hisab. So these type of announcements will be made. The people of Jahannam, they'll be screaming, calling out, pleading, get us out of here. Ashab al-A'raf, we did the Surah A'raf many years ago. It almost seems like Surah al-A'raf we did. The people of A'raf, the people who are in the meridian, they're in the middle, between Jahannam and between Jannah. They will call out to the people of Jannah and call out, Ya Allah, please get us into there. And Allah Ta'ala will bring them into there. Once people enter Jannah, they will call out to their families and different. So a lot of calling out on that day. So Allah Ta'ala calls it Yawm al-Tanad. And obviously, this person who believed, he's calling out towards the day of Qiyamah. That you people, when you die here and if you're punished here, there's no escape. On the day of judgment, you have to deal with Allah Ta'ala. So he says here, O my people, I fear for you, Yawm al-Tanad, the day of calling out, the day when people will call out to each other. And what is that day? يَوْمَ تُوَلُّونَ مُدْبِرِينَ مَا لَكُم مِّنَ اللَّهِ مِنْ عَاصِمٍ وَمَن يُضْلِلِ اللَّهُ فَمَا لَهُ مِنْ هَادٍ. What day is that? يَوْمَ تُوَلُّونَ مُدْبِرِينَ. It is that day when you will run away, turning your backs. If you don't believe in Allah Ta'ala, and that day comes upon you, you will run and be terrified. Tuwallun means to run, to turn. Mudbirin, showing your back. Dubur actually is the backside. So mudbirin, you'll turn around, showing your backs to everybody. As a person runs away, you only see his back. Somebody shoots a gun or something, everybody runs, you only see the back of the person. This is tawalla mudbirin. So that day, when you will turn away and you will run away, مَا لَكُم مِّنَ اللَّهِ مِنْ عَاصِمٍ. But on that day, there will not be for you against the punishment of Allah Ta'ala any salvation. Asim, isma. No one will be able to save you from the punishment of Allah Ta'ala on that day. And that punishment is daimi. It's not going to end like in dunya you get punished and you die and it's finished. No. It'll go on and on forever and ever. After this he says, وَمَا يُذْلِ اللَّهُ فَمَا لَهُ مِنْ هَادٍ. And whoever Allah Ta'ala misguides, so there is no guider for that person. No type of guidance that person will get. There's no chance for that person to get guided if Allah Ta'ala has misguided. After this, Allah Ta'ala talks about these people's forefathers. That not only you are suffering from the sickness of rejecting haqq, but you people are here, Bani Israel is here because of a history of the past. And what is that history? Allah Ta'ala blessed this land by bringing Yusuf alayhi salam. And you people didn't appreciate him, and now you're not appreciating Musa alayhi salam. Inshallah, next week we will talk about that, inshallah, and how they disbelieved in Yusuf alayhi salam, and how they came under some false notion that no prophet will come after Yusuf. There's two ways of looking at the ayat, inshallah, we'll do that, and then carry on with the conversation of this man who believed in Allah Ta'ala, then some weird thing that Fir'aun tried to do. We'll talk about that also, and then at the ending, this man leaves the people of Fir'aun and joins the mission of Musa alayhi salam and the Bani Israel. May Allah Ta'ala give us the ability to speak haqq and speak truth against batil and falsehood. And may Allah Ta'ala accept our faith and keep us away from the ways of the zalimeen and the ways of the oppressors, and keep us with those people who have good iman and faith and those who stand for justice. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi.